This week hit different. Between fuel prices going up again, the electricity situation, and what's happening with our savings as a country, there's a lot to cover. I'm going to break it all down into 4 areas: fuel and power, inflation, reserves, and the engine of the economy. Think of them as 4 checkpoints. When they're not doing well, ordinary Nigerians feel it first. And this week, we saw updates across all 4 areas. Let's start with fuel and power, because in Nigeria, these two are really the same problem. When the lights go out, you buy fuel. When fuel gets too expensive, you just sit there, hoping NEPA brings light. This week, the Dangote refinery increased petrol prices for the 4th time this month alone. We went from 1,175 Naira to 1,245 Naira per litre as a result of the war in the Middle East, which pushed the global price of oil past $110 a barrel. The thing is, even though Nigeria produces oil, the refinery still has to buy it at that high world price, and the government is not subsidizing. They want the price to be set by the market, even if it hurts our pockets right now. And on top of that, the national power grid has broken down twice this year. And we found out this week that the government owes electricity companies 6.8 trillion Naira. Those companies simply cannot afford to keep the lights running until that money is paid. So we're stuck with no light. Now let's talk about inflation. On Monday, the Government Statistics Office released new numbers showing that inflation dropped from 15.10% in January to 15.06% in February. Inflation is basically how fast the price of things are going up. A drop means prices are still rising, just more slowly than before. Sounds like a win, right? But the problem is that those numbers were collected before this week's fuel price increase. When it costs more money to move things from the farm to the market, any small relief disappears before it gets to you. The number went down on paper, but you probably won't feel it when you go to the market. Now, on the bright side, Nigeria's foreign savings, what we call reserves, crossed $50 billion, the highest it's been in 13 years. Let that sit for a moment. $50 billion. This money is coming in from oil sales and from foreign investors. The central bank uses this money as a buffer for the Naira. So when the dollar becomes too expensive, they can use some of those savings to steady our currency. So yes, that's good news. But, and this is important, that money is being kept aside on purpose. The government will not use it to pay electricity debts or bring fuel prices down. It's being saved for a bigger emergency. Whether that's the right call really depends on how you're coping right now. And then there's the engine of the economy, which is really just our local businesses. With everything going on, the fuel prices, the power cuts, businesses are actually staying afloat. The Purchasing Managers Index came in at 53.2 this month. That's a score that measures how businesses are doing based on a simple question asked to company owners. Are you buying more or less than you did last month? Any score above 50 means things are growing, and at 53.2, businesses are getting more customers and they're taking on more staff. The engine is moving. But the big question is, how long can businesses keep this up if the cost of fuel and electricity just keeps rising? So, where does all of this leave us? If I had to score the Nigerian economy this week across these 4 areas, I'd say we're at about 45%. Our savings are strong, businesses are trying to grow, and those are real green flags. But the cost of energy is sitting like a heavy load on top of everything, pulling progress back. Now, the government knows this is a problem, and they're trying to do something about it. They've been pushing CNG, compressed natural gas, as a cheaper alternative to petrol. This week, the president ordered 100,000 extra conversion kits to help people switch their cars from petrol to gas. That's a very small door for a very large crowd. The idea is good, but the rollout is simply too slow for the level of pain people are feeling right now. The government is thinking long term. They want a Nigeria that doesn't need subsidies, with a strong currency and an economy that works on its own. But right now, today, it's everyday people carrying that load. So I'll leave you with one question. Do you think the long-term plan will actually pay off? Or are we just going through pain for nothing? I'll see you in the next one.